Dan Hans is here with the rest of the Around the NFL podcast team. Boys, Tyrod Taylor back in early January, it seemed like a foregone conclusion he'd be out of Buffalo and somewhere else. But now Ian Rappaport is reporting, our NFL Network insider, that he could be open to a restructured contract with the Buffalo Bills. Mark, would the Bills be crazy to let Tyrod Taylor walk away, given there's not a lot of great options out there?
Yeah, I think they'd be very crazy to let him go. I mean, Buffalo, by the way, is a team, if you're a Buffalo Bills fan, that hasn't had an operable quarterback going back decades. You look at who they've had under center. Why would you not hold on to Tyrod Taylor?
Not a J.P. Losman fan?
Not a big J.P. Losman fan, Greg. But no, I think they'd be crazy to, but it still feels like a very real option that he could be somewhere else next year.
It's almost like Doug Whaley, their general manager, had almost...
Wait, Doug Whaley's still there?
Yeah, he is still there. It's almost like he had mentally closed the book on Tyrod Taylor, but then they hire an offensive coordinator, Rick Dennison, who once coached Tyrod Taylor, who was part of a group that tried to bring Tyrod Taylor to Denver. He fits this system. It would be so crazy and risky to let him go and just hope to find something better, because you're not going to find anything better.
Neither side has a more attractive option, I don't think. What are the Bills going to do if Tyrod Taylor's not there? I don't believe Tony Romo will want to go to Buffalo to play. They're not a contender. I don't think they're not going to win the AFC East, so I don't see anyone paying Tyrod Taylor $25 to $30 million.
It seems like a situation where it makes sense for both sides that he would stay there. And then you look at it from the Bills' standpoint, a team that hasn't been in the playoffs since 1999. Wouldn't it be so Buffalo if he went somewhere else and he was continued to be an ascendant type quarterback, and then you were stuck in the same old QB purgatory? That could easily happen. What about the idea, guys, of where he could land? And Mark, I'll start with you. If it's not with the Bills in 2017.
Well, I don't think I'm alone in this opinion. I think Cleveland is always an option. I think Hugh Jackson wants a veteran quarterback. We've heard that. David Lee's in-house. He's a fan of Tyrod Taylor, and they've got a ton of money to spend. I don't think the financial side of Tyrod Taylor would be as big of a concern.
Well, that's why I do think Tyrod Taylor will wind up leaving Buffalo, because to pick up his option, you're guaranteeing a little bit of money into 2018. So suddenly it's a 2-year commitment. Whaley doesn't really seem in on him. And Tyrod knows he doesn't have to take a pay cut. He's got the Browns sitting there. Who knows? I think another team could jump in, maybe the 49ers. He could have good options, and he could say so long after the way they treated him at the end of last season.
I don't buy that at all. Hugh Jackson felt the earth move under his feet when he watched Robert Griffin and gave him $6.75 million guaranteed.
Right.
Who's going to give Tyrod Taylor $25 to $30 million guaranteed? I don't see any team doing it.
I think
Hugh Jackson doesn't write the check.
I don't think the Bills are going to give it to him necessarily either, and I think the Browns would give it to him. That's an average starting quarterback salary.
I'm with you, and they cannot go into this year with RG3 again, or with simply risking on a rookie potential.
And the Bills can't go into another season with a J.P. Losman type.
No.
I think cooler heads prevail. Be something interesting to track